Hello, everybody, and thanks for joining us today for our Power of Peptides call. Today, we are talking to Hope, who is a mom of three grown boys, right? She's a traveling RN, so she's traveling all over the country and she's busy. If you've ever thought you're busy, Hope is busy, and she has made this work for her. So, after years of yo-yo dieting and having a gastric sleeve, Hope lost 100 pounds, but then gained back 55 and then lost 30 with semaglutide. She tried tirzepatide because she didn't love the way that semaglutide made her feel. And now she's lost 35 with that. So now she's on a microdose, maintaining her weight, and she's been able to play around with that to kind of find her sweet spot. So it's kind of what we're going to be talking about today. And she just started Semarelin, which is really in place there to help her to maintain muscle so that as she's getting off of or continuing to microdose, that she can maintain her muscle mass and also manage her appetite and have more energy and less inflammation. So that's a little bit about Hope. We're super excited to talk to her today and share a little bit more about her story. So thanks for coming, Hope. Thanks for talking to
Thank
us today.
you. Thank you for doing
So
this.
just a little background. My name's Jessica, and I lost 75 pounds with tirzepatide. I started about 3 years ago because I just felt stuck. I was doing all the right things. I was dieting and exercising. In fact, I was just sharing a story with one of my friends about like I used to go to this boot camp every morning at 5 a.m. for months on end. I was sending pictures of the foods I was eating to my trainer. I was weighing myself every day, and my weight didn't change at all. Not at all. I was sore. I was working my butt off. I was doing what I thought was the right things. And I don't know if it was my cortisol levels or whatever, but things didn't go the way that I wanted. And so I was super grateful for when I finally got introduced to tirzepatide because finally the effort that I was putting in with my movement and with my nutrition, all the puzzle pieces kind of started working together. And I had this tool that helped me with my insulin resistance. And now suddenly my body felt balanced and I was able to lose weight. It wasn't a quick fix for me. I still only just lost about a pound a week. And I think that there's this misconception that, when you get on this, it's a quick fix and that people that do this are lazy. And I'm here to tell you that that is simply not the case.
Yeah.
If you have been like trying things forever and you feel stuck, I believe this tool is meant to help us to accelerate our results. And for a lot of people like myself, it really was the missing piece to the puzzle because I really was doing the things that I knew were right, and this just helped me to move the needle. So hopefully
Yeah.
that resonates with you. And let's go ahead and get started. Hope, and just tell me a little bit about yourself and why you decided to partner with Ellie, why you decided to kind of share your journey, because I know this can kind of be vulnerable. So why did you decide to hop on this train?
Yeah. Well, I've been doing it for the last, I'd say probably the last year and a half or something. I've been doing it anyway. And I have a lot of people that reach out to me and they know that I've been using, some products and stuff. And so they'll be like, hey, I got this from my doctor, but I really don't know how to take it. I don't have really any directions. And I'm like, oh gosh. So, when I tried LEMD, I was like, okay, this is perfect. There's a doctor right there that you can talk to, ask any questions. You get the exact directions. I mean, I was really surprised that people were getting these medications and they like weren't even told how to use them. And so that was a surprise to me. So that's why I decided to do LEMD and the cost. I mean, I think it's fabulous. It's the least expensive of any that I've found. Um, but yeah, so I've helped a lot of people. So I thought, why not get on this and continue to help people? So
I love
yeah,
that. I love that. I can totally like relate with that. I remember when I first got started, I started going to this spa downtown and it was three times the price of what I'm paying now with Ellie. But I also had to go in every single week to get weighed and measured and get the poke.
right.
And if you've ever dealt with like the anxiety of standing on a scale in front of someone, like
Yes.
just the thought of having to do that really stressed me out. So I love that I get to do this from the comfort of my home. And something you touched on is super important, I think, is the fact that it's medically guided because
Yeah.
there's no end to the amount of peptides you can find online, but a lot of them say research back or research peptides, not for human use, not for
Yes.
human consumption. And these
Yes.
come from a 503A pharmacy. So that makes me feel better.
Yeah.
So what made you feel comfortable with getting started with peptides in the beginning? Like talk us through like the
Well,
conversation you had with yourself.
okay, so yeah, I was just beside myself before I did my gastric sleeve. I mean, I was almost like 300 pounds and I had done everything in the past. I lose, I gain, lose, gain, lose, gain, lose, gain. That was just like the cycle since I started having kids. And so I did the gastric sleeve, lost really good. And then all of a sudden, after a few years, I just found it like creeping right back on. And all of a sudden, here's half of my weight back on. So this is when, semaglutide kind of people were starting to use it. Or I guess just in the very beginning, I heard about it and I was like, hey, I'm going to try it. And it just helped me so much. But I did have a little bit of side effects from that one. And when I went to the trizepatide, I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. This is so good. I feel like I lose so much better and, don't have all the side effects that I did with the other one. And I mean, it's been so nice because I can just kind of do it now. Once I got that weight back off me, I can kind of do it when I need to, or microdose, or sometimes I'll take like a good month off or a couple months off, and then I'll do a little dose. And, anyways, it's just been really good for me to kind of keep me consistent. And
Uh, what were
yeah,
some of the first changes that you noticed where you're like, this is for sure working? Like, I can tell this is going to be the thing that moves the needle for me. What was
yeah.
the first changes?
I think the just mostly what I noticed is even when I had like lost weight and I would be flying, I would still get like really swollen and stuff. And now that I do this, I don't get that inflammation. I don't have that inflammation. I don't look like my calves are like double the size and my ankles, when I'm doing it regularly. And so the inflammation has been a big part of it. And, my sister, that was her thing. She kind of decided to do it because not necessarily for the weight loss, but for inflammation. I said, why don't you just try it? Why don't you just try it? Because I swear it helped me so much. And she's like, oh my gosh, after a couple of weeks, I don't feel like I have the flu. My body's not achy. And she's losing weight too. So,
That's really
that's a
nice.
yeah,
Yeah,
benefit.
that's the thing that I think a lot of people don't realize is that there are a lot of women that are using this to help balance their hormones, especially if they're in perimenopause or menopause. It helps balance all of those things out and really helps your body to be more regulated, which I
Yeah.
love. Like it just helps me to stay in control. So I love that you touched on that because there are microdosing options for people that don't necessarily feel like they have a lot of weight to lose because it does absolutely help with inflammation.
Yeah.
And I love that. So what is
Inflammation
the
and
biggest,
brain fog and all of
yes.
those things.
So what's the biggest difference between like Hope, let's say 50 pounds ago and Hope now? Like how do you
Oh,
feel day to day?
well, I just feel so much better. It's like, even if I get a little like 10 pounds on me, I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't feel like myself. But yeah, 50 pounds, it's like I wanted to hide from everybody, from pictures, from everything. I didn't want to go do anything. Now it's like, okay, it's easier for me to exercise. It's easier for me to eat a little bit better, and I'm not perfect, I'm not perfect with my eating, but it sure helps. I travel so much and it's really hard for me to be consistent with my food because I'm in different kind of situations all the time
Right.
where I go. So it's not always the easiest to like exercise and watch what you're eating. So yeah, I don't know. I guess I just feel so much better. I just don't feel good with that weight on, you just don't feel like yourself.
I think that's really a big part of it too, is it like gives me hope. So like I know now I have a tool at my disposal if I ever feel like
Hmm.
I get off track, that I can
Yeah.
absolutely depend on it to help me to get everything balanced again. And I love that you mentioned how busy you are as a traveling nurse. Like you don't
Oh,
have the ability now to like, even if you wanted to prep food, you probably couldn't because you wouldn't be able to
gross.
travel with it. You wouldn't be able to bring
Yeah.
all your meals. And so how does this help you to stay in control when you're
Yeah.
traveling? I mean,
Well,
you
I
live with
just
other people for a week, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah. So I go and it's kind of odd. I mean, I go and I stay with somebody else in their home for like a week. And so it kind of just depends on the situation. Like I was just at an assisted living facility with one of my patients. He lives in an assisted living. So I don't have access to even like a stove, so like I can meal prep sometimes at their home, but I'm also busy working too.
right.
So it's not like I can just sit there and take all this time, but yeah, I didn't even have access to a stove. So, it just kind of helps me be able to I was eating at the facility and, I just kind of eat what they cook. And it's probably not always the best. You think it'd be a little more healthy for residents and stuff, but I don't, it just helps me to be able to not eat like a box of little Debbie's because I've done that. Like I've done that where I've like just feeding everything. You know what I mean? It's like I
Yeah.
just can't get enough, and this just makes me feel like, okay, I don't even need that. I don't even want it. It's not good.
I think that that's the probably the most powerful thing to me too, is it like retrained my taste buds where like things like that just don't.
Yeah.
give me the same satisfaction anymore. There's actually studies that show that this actually can help with addicts, like with alcoholics and things like that too, because it controls that part of your brain that tells you you don't need to be doing this, right? So
Yeah.
there's so much power behind that because a lot of people I think do struggle with food addiction.
Yes.
And in the times that I've taken breaks from this and I feel that food noise come creeping back, it's like it's definitely not that I'm hungry. It's just like there it's trying to fill a void or a need or something.
Yeah.
So one thing that I think is really important when you're on this journey and that Hope was talking about at the beginning is to have someone who's been where you've been, like Hope is a nurse, that can kind of guide you through a way to do it that is sustainable, that will feel like something that once you get off of it, you don't have to rebound and go all the way back to where you were before.
Right.
And that's something that we offer too. We have a longevity group where you can go and you can get tips and tricks from LEMD, but you'll also have Hope cheering you on and helping you to do this in the right way so you feel like it's something that you can make a lifestyle change with. So, what would you say to someone who's like thinking about this but still a little bit unsure? Maybe they have people in their life that are like, you know, telling them
Yeah.
that it's not the right way to go. What would you say to someone like that?
Well, I mean, just try it. It doesn't hurt to try it. It was like my sister, she was hesitant because I think I told you, she'd spoke to a doctor about it before who wasn't very supportive and was like, it's not going to help you. And, I was like, what do you mean it's not going to help you? It's helped me so much. So after, I don't know how long we've been talking, and I'm like, just try it. And now she's like, this is really great. I feel so much better. I finally feel good. So, just give it a try and see if it works for you, because you don't really know unless you do give it a shot. And
Right.
there's
And
my
that's
mom. I see my mom too. She tried it too, and she's done so well. Yes, she's done really good. I'm proud of her. She was able to take a trip to Europe after she, had got a little weight off her, and like walk and walk and walk and just did amazing. So, yeah,
It's amazing the way that it sets us up for success in other ways, right? Because when one little change can add up to better habits and better
yeah,
changes over time.
yeah,
And it can be really frustrating to do all the right things and never see any progress, and then it's easier to
yeah,
quit. But I feel like this gives you just the tools to kind of see some progress so you can stay the course.
right,
And the great thing is like Hope's not going to prescribe this to you. What you're going to have when you work with Ellie is you're going to have medically backed support. So you're going to log in, you're going to select the products that you want to try, talk to the person that invited you here today, get their link. They can send you the direct link to whatever peptides you want to try. And then what you'll do is you'll fill out a medical survey and a doctor in your area will review it. And the thing that I love about this is it's compounded in a 503A pharmacy in the United States that's FDA regulated. So it's triple purified. And like Hope said, it's a really affordable price. You can do this from the comfort of your own home. You don't have to go into a spa or a salon and have someone weigh you. You can do this from the comfort of your home, which for me was the biggest thing. So, um, you will have the medical help that you need. You'll be able to ask questions. And so you're not depending upon like some random Chinese website to get your peptides where you're not sure if they're filtered or not, because a lot of people are doing that. And that's
yeah.
terrifying. So
It
um,
scares me so bad.
I would tell you to reach out to the person that invited you here today. Share your goals with them. There might be other peptides too that you might be interested in that can help to accelerate your results or help you to feel even more energized when you're on this. There's so many awesome things that are available to us now. I think it's just amazing. So
Yeah.
now we will go ahead and we'll close this. And if you have any questions, let me just stop recording.